friends, ASMR Sports here, back with another video. Alright, so I wasn't really planning this, but I couldn't resist cracking into a box of 2020 Bowman, of which I have several cases, but I have only opened one box so far, and that was on my channel, The Sports Card Show. So if you want to see that one, that is not an ASMR channel, so I'm just sort of speaking in my normal voice. Go check that out, but I thought I'd do one for the ASMR channel here. And the camera looked a little bit hazy, so I just clean it up. So I got some gum. I'm a little short of breath right now because I just did a little workout. And I'm going to drink a little water. Delicious. Nothing tastier than water after you've broken a little bit of a sweat. Am I right? Alright, hope everybody's doing great out there. I have not been doing a ton of videos lately. I've just been very busy. And, I don't know, kind of not really super interested in opening a lot of stuff. I have been buying a lot of stuff. But lately I've been buying more cases than boxes, and a lot of times I'm not really interested in like breaking the case. A lot of times I am, but recently I've just been getting cases to try to hold on to. An interesting thought process I go through is that if I have a case of stuff and it's something that is individually wrapped, like a modern box like this, I will generally open up, one of the cases that I get if I get more than one. Or just the one case if I get one case. I will open that and open a box or two or three. And it doesn't really harm the value of the rest of the product all that much because everything's individually, wrapped, and boxes generally don't sell for any more or less than the boxes in a complete case. Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes there is a premium on a complete case. However, where there is definitely a premium on a complete case is like if you buy any vintage stuff, if you buy boxes or a case of stuff like, 87 Topps baseball cards. Or just recently I bought a case. It's funny, I just bought a case of 89 Fleer basketball, which I had been wanting forever. It's one of my favorite basketball products because it was the first basketball product that I opened like a lot of back in the day. And when I say a lot, I mean like probably 16 packs or something. So I've wanted some of that for a long time, and I was actually looking at cases of that stuff like 4 or 5 months ago, and they were going for like $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. And by the way, cases of that stuff are 12-box cases rather than 20, which is common for a lot of vintage stuff. Anyway, so I don't know. I kept thinking it felt too expensive. Well, then the whole Michael Jordan explosion, happened, and all vintage basketball wax exploded too, and cases just, have gone bananas. So the case I just bought was $4,500, and I'm not super excited about spending that much on a case, but I feel like that stuff is just drying up big time, and if I can hang on to it for 5-10 years, maybe worth something more than what I paid for it, hopefully, but it might dip. Alright, so we've got 24 packs. This is a hobby box of 2020 Bowman baseball. You are watching ASMR Sports. If you're wondering why I'm whispering, it's because this is an ASMR channel. Go look up ASMR in Wikipedia or something, and you'll see it's about people doing things like whispering or chewing or making, papery sounds or whatever, and having a relaxing effect on people. So that's why we're here. If you don't like that, go check out the Sports Card Show, my other channel, where there's not whispering or chewing, just sports cards. Alright, so what we got? Oh wow, look at that. That's the first Dominguez of like any kind that I've gotten. I'm sure these are going for subset cards in Bowman are just absolute like garbage when it comes to value. Like even the top players, you know, maybe you would get $1 for it at a card show, but no one's gonna buy it online, something like that. But you know, with Jason Dominguez, where even his paper cards, which are normally like dollar cards if it's the top like card in the set of Bowman, but those, I don't know what they're going for today, but they've been $25 to $35 for the paper rookie cards of him. I'm sure they're down a little bit now, but that's just kind of astounding for any base card to be worth that much out of Bowman. I have noticed John Diaz is decent. I have noticed that the prices of this unopened Bowman have been going way down. Well, yeah, way down, but they started at like $350 a box for a hobby box, which is, by the way, insane. No Bowman product went anywhere near that much in hobby box form when it first came out, so this is like by far the highest priced product at launch. But now they're down. I see they're like $280, I think, at the big online sports card retailers. So that's a pretty big drop, which happens actually a fair bit, I think, with Bowman products. You know, there's always a ton of excitement that leads to people paying exorbitant prices when this stuff first comes out. But then, you know, I think people realize how much of it there is out there, and you know, online sellers realize, oh boy, this stuff's not moving, because somebody has undercut the price somewhere, and everybody's going there, and then everybody has to cut their prices. Matthew Liberatore, he got traded. Gosh, I can't remember to who, but that was a big off-season deal before the whole COVID nonsense came and shut everything up. By the way, speaking of COVID and Major League Baseball, I forgot to look today, but you know, so I forgot to look. What I forgot to look for is news on what's happening with the season, and from all reports, it's just a giant crap show. I'm trying not to swear for you kids. I hope you appreciate that. But anyways, it's a giant crap fest. Because, like, you know, owners and players are squabbling over, like, something sticky on this stuff. That's not what I want. They're squabbling over, you know, money. Because the owners, I think, you know, rightfully so to some extent, are saying, like, we have no idea if we're going to make, like, you know, 2 cents out of this season, because, you know, we can't really have fans at games, and so there's, like, no ticket sales, and, you know, who knows what other revenue streams are going to be down because of COVID. And players are saying, like, we're putting ourselves at risk, and we might, like, die if we get this because we're playing, and you gotta come through for us, teams. So, yeah, it's depressing. Boba Rookie of the Year favorites. Clark Schmidt, I hear, is doing good in the Yankees farm system. At least was last year. So, yeah, you know, it's weird, like I can't remember what the original proposal was of the teams, but then the players countered at like 114 game season, which I think is great. I think if you get 114 games, my goodness, that's a ton of games. That's a ton of baseball. You know, you can actually put some decent stats up in those games. But then, like, because the owners rejected that, they were talking about, or media reports were talking about, like a 60 game season. And then they were saying that some news things I was reading were saying like the owners could actually force. Oh, there's my first Bobby Jr. It's got some nice streaks on. I'm not even gonna like sleeve it. It's streaked all to hell. Not worth anything. So then, like, I was reading that the owners could, like, sort of force, like, they could force a season, but the most of the games they could force it would be, like, 40-some games. I'm just like, oh, God, a 40-game season? Are you kidding me? What the hell's the point? So I think that would be a nightmare. I think it would be really bad for the hobby. Okay, well, this box so far is sucking. We did get a nice Bobby Witt Jr. that was scratched all hell, so therefore worth nothing. But like, we're halfway through this box, and I've not gotten a single. I haven't even gotten a base refractor, for God's sakes. Never mind color. Although I remember the box I opened for the sports card show. I had to get to the very last pack to get the autograph, and it happened to be a color auto that was actually a really good one. It was not a name. That's a really good player there, good prospect. The name was not one I recognized, but I looked him up, and he was one of the top like 5 or so prospects on his team system. And the cards were going on eBay at that time for like, I think $300 or $400. I'm sure they're down now. You know, the thing that happens with Bowman stuff is everybody is like overpaying for prospects right when this stuff comes out. But then, you know, everything kind of cools down because people lose their excitement and calmer heads prevail. I'm gonna take a little drink of water here. I'm still like dying of thirst here. Alright, that's all the water I got. I wish I had more. It's really thirsty. Alright. So like all the refractors I'm getting are these stupid subset, which all the cards in this subset are refractors. There's no like base chromes of those. So like, I don't know what they're trying to do to me. Trying to make me think I'm getting something, but give me those crap cards that are worth absolutely nothing. Still no color, Jesus. And still the refractor is a garbage subset. It's not even like a, quote-unquote hit, because it's just a base card of that subset. Man, this stuff is just boring the hell out of me, I gotta tell you. It's like, other than Jason, and honestly, Bobby Witt Jr., not that good of a prospect. He is a sort of defensive specialist with, potential for some bat, but he's got a bat that, like, is all right. So yeah, we finally got some color, and it's a friggin' pitcher, not even a first Bowman pitcher, so that's worth about negative $3. I'd have to pay someone $3 to take it. I forgot what I was saying. Yay, more trash subsets. God. Oh yeah, I was just saying this. So, Bobby Witt Jr., not that good. Not that good of a player. I wouldn't, by any means, call him a sure shot. And, Jason Dominguez is a lot more tantalizing for sure. But he's just so young. Anything could happen. With somebody who's like, whatever age he is, I think he's like 16 or 17. Hidden finds. I don't know. They should just stop making these subsets. Honest to God, nobody wants those. Sorry, guys. When I get like 2/3 into a box and I've gotten absolute trash, I start to get really salty. But you know that if you watch this channel, you know that damn well. It's just, man, you gotta go through so many cards to get. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm not seeing any scratches. Okay, it's a little bit off center. So that's well, in my other box, I did not get a single Jason Dominguez, not even a subset card. So I'm a little bit happier now that I got a base. And by the way, these things are selling for like, well, I don't know what they're selling. They're probably down to like $60, but they were selling for $100, 100 dineros. By the way, 100 dineros is totally stupid because dinero means money. So that's like saying 100 monies, and that's something a 3-year-old would say. So don't ever do it, you guys. Don't ever do that. Okay, you can tell my workout has gotten to me. I'm like all kinds of loopy right now. Alright, let's keep going. Well, as with the, it's funny because I took these cards out, and I don't even remember what order I put the stacks in, but both this time and my last box, it seems like I'm going down to the wire on the autograph is here. That's the guy that I got an autograph of in the first box they opened, and he ended up being a really good prospect. Sherman Apostle, he's not like one of the top, 5 guys in here, but he's definitely seems to be decent, we'll say that. Oh, okay, we got some kind of color coming up. Actually, it's not like colored, it's just shiny. I don't know what you say about like something that's not colored, but it's a special refractor, we'll say. Franklin Perez, another effing pitcher. God dang it. Stupid pitchers are out to get me. So yeah, this product, gee whiz. Other than Dominguez, honestly, there's not a lot in here. There's almost nothing in here that's exciting. Now, who knows? Jacob Maya could do something. Glenn Allen Hill Jr., interesting. Former player's son. Wow. What are the odds we go down to the last pack for the autograph? 2 boxes in a row. What is happening with America, you guys? What is happening? I'm gonna go protest somewhere. Alright. Oh, this is weird, but kind of cool. Yeah, so it's a subset auto, and it's Gavin Lux, who's awesome. And it's numbered to 150. I'm not sure if this is a color of any kind, or if it's just all these autographs of, this subset are numbered, but that is a sexy looking card, I will say that. I don't think I have any autographs of Gavin Lux, so that's my first Gavin Lux auto, so that's beautiful. Very cool, a little bit off center, left to right, so that's not exciting. Probably would get and you can see you can see how bad the centering is. Even worse on the back, but it's not as bad, but still off. On the front, I would have loved to have gotten, a real perfectly centered one that I could send in. There's Adley Rutschman. So by the way, the 2020 Major League Draft, amateur draft is coming up. Mark Luciano, he's a really good player. So we didn't quite go down all the way to the wire. Boy, did I get a single colored refractor in this entire box. I don't think I did, you guys. That's kind of shocking, kind of amazing, and kind of terrible. Now is this, oh yeah, okay, look at that. We did get a colored refractor, so this is a colored subset, number to 25. It's orange, so that's nice. Alec Thomas is okay, but this is not his first prospect, first Bowman year, so it's not as good as it would have been in the set he's got his first cards in. Wow, and there's another top 100 base right there, Alec Bohm, not a bad player. I like how many Yankees are in here. I've not even heard of Antonio Capello. I don't think he's that good. Probably like a speed guy or something. Okay. Well, I don't know what to think of this box. I have to say, if I paid, so let's see, what did I pay? You know what? So I bought these things. I think I paid like $1,500 or something for my hobby cases. And there's 12 boxes, so I paid, peanuts. peanuts for these compared to what they're going for now. So it was like whatever, $130 a box. I might have paid $1,700 for the case. I can't remember. So if you think of it from that perspective, I did quite well because this card, probably like a $15 card. This card, probably like a $60 or $70 card. This card might be worth $5. This card is probably worth $50. I don't know. I'm gonna say $50 to like $80. This one. Gavin Lux, his stuff is not super valuable yet, but if he has a good start to the year, if there's a season, I think his stuff is gonna go nuts. Just because he's a very highly touted prospect. A lot of people think he's gonna do really well. He's on a big market team and a team that's very stacked this year, so they're probably gonna go pretty far into the playoffs. Oh, and by the way, since I last recorded a video, it was announced that the basketball season is coming back. I can't remember when that's going to be. I think it's like the middle of July, maybe. It might be the end or the beginning. I don't think it's the beginning, though. It might be the end of July. So anyways, that's like super exciting. Although I gotta tell you, I've probably said this before, I'm kind of a germaphobe, so I'm all about, taking as many precautions as we can to try and minimize this virus from spreading, and I just think, God dang it, people are just being idiots. And, doing all sorts of crap out there, going to, like, giant beach parties and stuff. So, whatever, you can disagree with me on that, but, I think that, I just read that hospitalizations, because, and sorry to get into this, I'll try and make it quick, but, so like, infections is kind of a bad number to track to get a sense of whether we're doing good or bad in the coronavirus fight, because it totally depends on the number of tests, and if you have a low number of tests, you're not going to get that many, infections counted. If you have a lot of tests, you may get a lot of infections counted, but there may actually be less infections than there were like a month ago or 2 months ago, right? So it's a very bad way to get a sense of things. A better way is to look at hospitalizations, because, probably the same percentage of infections will turn into hospitalizations, throughout the course of the virus. So if you have, 100 hospitalizations in a state 1 month, and the next month you have 150, well, you've probably got more cases, regardless of how many tests you're doing or how many actual confirmed infections, right? So hospitalizations are a good measure that's really lets you compare apples to apples. And I've just read that a lot of states that have opened back up are seeing a spike in infections. So that says that, regardless of what they're doing in testing and whatever numbers those might show, they're probably having more cases now than than ever before in some cases. Like, I think Texas is doing like worse than it was even during the kind of early stages of the pandemic. But other states are not, quite doing as bad as they were before, but they're doing worse than they were, like, 2-3 weeks ago, and so that sucks. I really wish that were not the case. I wish hospitalizations were I wish that, like, these early openings and doing, letting people go out and do more and having more business openings, so I really wish that would happen, and then, cases would stay the same or go down. I was really hoping that might be the case, but it looks to not be the case, unfortunately, and so I just hope there's a little spike maybe, and then it kind of, goes back down, like states or countries that have had the virus for, months, and like, a month or several weeks before the United States, they all seem to, they have their spike, and then they go down, and then they kind of keep going down, they keep going down, they keep going down, and like, I read that New Zealand has like 0 cases. I don't know how the hell you keep that going, though, because unless you cut off all international travel, you're going to have people coming in from, places that have cases, and some people are gonna, come in with the disease. So I don't know. I'd be curious to know how they're gonna, stop getting more cases. But anyway. anyways, I'm rooting for all countries, all states, and all cities to just, some way or another, have fewer cases, fewer hospitalizations, and fewer deaths. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch y'all later. I'll try to do more videos here, and yeah, ask me questions in the comments. If you have requests, please send those. The more I see people commenting and kind of interacting and let me know what they want to see, the more likely I am to do videos, because I just like to know that people are watching and that they're interested in things, and that I can try to do what people want. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch y'all later. Have a great one. Bye now.